waiting on no money, man. I'm gonna get some money. That's every day, all day. Rain, snow, sleet, sunny. My pockets in need of his favorite color green. Hustle look like I'm broke and let my money work.
Yo, dude.
Lo, what is up, man?
How are you, bro? Dude,
I'm
life has
tired.
changed a lot for you. Oh, I bet you are.
Yeah, man, it's been quite a week in
Yeah,
this
dude.
aftermath.
No, man, it's all good.
I'm
There's
happy it's Friday. Hey, I mean, I did just miss a whole week of work, but we have all of next week off also for wellness week. So
right on,
I'm
dude.
winning right now, bro. I'm gonna sleep in tomorrow, so I'm in a great mood.
Dude, blessings. That's rad. You just got done training?
Yeah, yeah, I was at Fairbanks. Have you been down in this area at all, Los? SoCal area?
No, no, I
Uh,
haven't.
Fairbanks Ranch, really nice club. I was training with my doubles partner for APP, Mike Anderson, and Daniel Traxler, who actually just played against Fed in the round of 64 at San Clemente. So
Yeah,
good
dude. I
session.
saw Traxler.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
he's very tricky, man. He's good. He's a really good practice partner because he can kind of do a little bit of everything.
perfect,
So I love playing points against him.
dude.
But how are you, man? What's going on?
Dude, life is treating me better than I deserve. You're looking good as usual. That hair is still strong.
Dude, it's getting a little long right now. I gotta say, I might make a trip to the barber shop tomorrow or something. But I'm just trying
No,
to be like you, Lo. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to. We're trying to get. We had the Spider-Man meme going with Alex Crum with
I
with my
know.
run, and now we got the long flowy hair.
Dude,
It's a good
let it
look for
grow.
two pickleballers.
It is, dude. Give the people what they want, Rafa. Dude,
Hell
I
yeah, man.
remember. Thanks so much for doing this again. I really appreciate
Dude, of
it.
course, my pleasure. Just talking pickleball with a friend. Nothing easier than
Oh,
that.
absolutely. I was thinking about this today. I was driving to Austin and I hit with Naveen and he
Naveen,
wanted me to tell you hello
hell
and
yeah,
great
man.
job. Yeah, dude. Such a
I
good
can't wait
dude.
to see him. He's gonna be at APP next week. I haven't
That's
seen him in
right.
so many years, so
Yeah, dude. Newport Beach, baby. Yeah.
that's right.
And
Hell yeah.
I was thinking, I was telling the story to him actually the first time I played you visual spots. This was like what, 5 or 6 months ago now?
This was in February.
February? Okay.
February. Yeah.
And I remember I thought this dude has a huge serve and he moves insanely well. Like all these shots that I'm hitting, they're usually winners and he's getting them back. And I remember you had an insane inside in forehand too.
Hell
And it was so funny because after the match, I was like, I was pissed because you hit a couple of loopy lob serves in.
I know I
And
was playing around with that.
I told Andy, I said, this dude didn't, she's like, great match, Mia Moore. You guys played great. I said, this dude, you don't get it, babe. He disrespected me by giving me a lob serve. And
Oh
sure
man.
enough, I watched you play tennis, Pablo. You
Yes.
did the same thing. And I was like, okay, all right. I'm gonna okay, I feel better now. Yeah,
It's funny,
dude.
though. I told you the same thing though about some of the shots that I was hitting because I
Yeah,
remember there was one point where I had like two or three put away volleys and you got to it and you hit a winner.
yeah,
And also your backhand that just looks like you're gonna go down the line every time, but you just
yeah,
somehow like pull it cross court,
yeah,
which I don't have that shot, and that was annoying. And that was the first match of the day. That was the closest match I had all day. It was 11-9. I think I was
yeah,
winning like 9-4 or something or
yeah. You
8-4.
were.
And
Yeah,
then you came back. But yes, I was playing around with the lob serve. I've given it up now, but that's because I had PTSD from the John Goins match, which you were watching.
I
And I
remember that.
had
Yeah,
game point, and I went for that serve, and I missed the serve after coming back from like 10-7. So I am an advocate for variety on the serve, but I don't know. I think the lob, I think it's especially these really high level guys, I feel like they're just going to be able to rip it, and it's hard to
yeah.
control. But that was no, I was definitely trying my hardest, low.
No,
I
dude. No,
promise
dude.
you that.
Yeah.
I
I
wanted
just
to win badly.
I thought about that and it's like, dude, chill. It's a tactic. And I didn't know enough about the game at that stage to be like, oh, that's a good tactic. I just thought like how he doesn't
Oh man, you
respect
probably
my
thought I was an
routines.
asshole too.
Not at all,
I mean, I
dude. No,
can
no,
be
no.
on the court, it's like we're competitors, but off the
Hey
court,
man.
we're
No, man.
homies.
Oh, dude, nothing but love. Huge support. It's funny, you mentioned my backhand. The only, besides Naveen, the only coach I ever had, it was for two sessions. First session we did singles. He's really well known.
Who was the coach? Do you want to shout him out or should we keep him
I,
anonymous?
I'd rather not, dude. I'll
That's
tell
okay. That's okay.
I'll tell you
All good.
I'll
All
tell
good.
you when it's just you and I.
Yes.
Very recognizable. I asked him, what do I need to do to level my game up? Am I split stepping too early? Returns? Where should I? That kind of thing. And he said, no, you need a two-handed backhand. Ben Jones has a two-handed backhand. That's what you
Wow.
need. And I said, yeah, I can't do that.
Dude,
I'm
you can't, you're so
nope,
wired into that one-hander, like there's no way. It's not an
no,
insult. I just think your one-hander is like too natural for you.
it
There's
is.
no
Yeah.
backswing.
Yep.
You have a nice pose at the
Yep.
finish. Like,
Yep. We had to part ways, dude. I actually was kind of distressed after that because I thought this dude's super well known. He knows what he's talking about. Maybe I'm wrong. And I'm
yeah.
thinking like 18 months minimum to get the feel of it. So I texted
Yeah.
Spartak Rahatchow,
Dude, his back end is a thing of beauty. Oh my
100%, dude.
gosh. It is
100%.
beautiful.
I asked him, and he said, anyone that tells you to switch to a two, he's like, fire them immediately. He's like, don't do it. So
Validated.
yeah, absolutely. It gave me a lot more, it made me feel a little bit more confident. But you're also switching gears here radically. Sorry about that.
Oh, dude,
You're
all
also
good. Yeah,
training.
take this wherever you want.
Thanks, bro. You're also training with Andre Mile is he still out in Vegas too?
Yeah, yeah, and he's in
Nice
Vegas
dude.
now. He's a monster, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Such a nice dude.
Yeah, nice dude. Just a good-hearted person. And dude, I feel privileged to be able to train with him. He was one of the first people in Vegas that I kind of linked up with, and we don't have the same schedule, so we only get on court really 2 or 3 times a week, which I wish it was more. I think we could iron sharpens iron, as the saying goes, you know. But yeah, I talked about it a little bit on the Zane podcast with the cat and mouse because his cat and mouse is so good. He's so dangerous. So that has been a huge help for me, which my instinct was just to kind of serve and try to hit drive winners, you know. But yeah, Andre, he also introduced me sort of to the visual spots cash games. You know, Andre, Mike Richardson, those guys kind of went before me, and they told me about that, and that was like pivotal for me this year to make that part of my schedule monthly to go out there and play some matches and get match rhythm. So
Yeah, dude.
yeah,
You're
huge
hitting
shout out to
those
Andre.
up. Oh, awesome, dude. I saw him at the tournament in Mesa. I think it was November last year. Nice dude.
And he
Um,
just won next gen APP singles. He had some
that's what
good
I'm,
wins. Yeah.
dude. That's what I'm talking about.
So Vegas is
Good
on
man.
fire, man.
I love that. Were you hitting with Patrick Kafka when he was out there too?
So I moved there November 2023, and I think he was already kind of all over the place, like meaning traveling all over the place. He was never home. Vegas was never home base for him. So I got to practice with him a couple times, maybe like 6 or 7 times when he would come into town for a little bit. Man, I wish I trained with him more. And who knows if I moved to Arizona, that would be amazing. I mean, there would be so many players, yourself, Patrick, hopefully all the other guys. I don't even know. There's too many to name.
Oh yeah, dude. Rio Newcomb,
Rio, Augie, Will, Jackson, Eddie, Joel.
Caden
It's a good
Nemeth.
group. Yeah, yeah. Who I haven't met yet, but uh,
Awesome dude.
it's such
You
a
and him will get along great.
yeah.
He is a real bro.
That's awesome,
Um,
man.
yeah.
So talented too.
His doubles partner also a really great guy. But I really hope I heard you on Zane's podcast saying that you're kind of in between Southwest Florida. That's a mecca. Totally get it. Same with Austin. Arizona is too, dude. It's like
It's
those
great.
three
And it's
spots.
close, you know, it would be the less radical move for me.
Yeah, would. Yeah.
Um, so we'll just see how things play out, Lo. It's like I was just thinking about this before hopping on the Zoom. Like I'm kind of in a hurricane right now, and I don't see a way out, but I know that as soon as I get out, there will be peace. I don't even know if that's the healthiest way to think about it, but I just don't see a clear path for the next 2 or 3 months of my life, which is a little bit scary, but it's also exciting in some ways, you know?
Sure.
And hopefully if things play out, I'll be able to make that move and really just go all in. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I hear you, dude. Well, it's kind of like you're getting everything you want, but it can also probably, correct me if I'm wrong, it could also feel a bit overwhelming at times.
Yeah, that's the perfect.
Yeah,
I think
dude.
I've said that word more than any other word this week.
Sure. Yeah.
So overwhelmed. Yeah. I knew this was gonna happen. I knew I was gonna get big wins at some point. As you and I texted, right? I pulled up
Oh,
that
I know.
screenshot back
Yeah,
after I
dude.
lost to John Goins. But it definitely happened. It was a bigger win, a big multiple, right? Sooner than I expected and bigger than I expected. And I was prepared for the win to win, but I was not prepared for everything that came after it. And I'm still trying to figure out how to navigate that and what makes the most sense, what path to go. Like, do I quit my job? Do I not quit my job? I have no
Sure.
idea, which is
Sure.
such a blessing. We have a week off because I get another week to just think about it. So,
Absolutely. Well, the good thing from what I've seen too, and what I can tell is you have a really strong family unit.
yeah, for sure.
And man, that's worth its weight in gold to be able
Yeah.
to have people that you can call up because you got social media presence, you have Instagram where, all of us on Instagram, our lives are just amazing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're
It's
seeing,
literally life highlights is my bio, you know?
I
Like,
saw that, dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I saw that.
So it's not real life. We all go through struggles. I was off Instagram for a year. I didn't make any posts since Red Rock of last year because I was going through stuff and I just didn't want to like, post. It just felt lazy and all this other thing. I didn't want to be on social media, but now I kind of have to.
Yep.
So that's a change in the daily life. Um, that's another thing I got to learn. How do I do the social media thing? So I'm texting some friends that are really prominent on social media or like have understand how to use it and they're giving me all these tips and I don't even know what they're talking about like half the sentences they're writing, so but
Yeah,
yeah, the my family and I haven't been always the best at being super open with them. And I'm always working on that, but it's good to know. I mean, you got my mom and my dad right here,
I saw
post
that.
cruise we did. Yeah, it's always good because I know that when I can go talk to them, there's zero judgment. They're just gonna listen and they're gonna try to they're gonna be a calming presence. So yeah, so important for sure.
Dude, that's huge blessings for you.
Hmm.
When it comes to like the social media, it's like everyone sees the peaks and never the valleys.
Exactly.
And life is full of really 80 to 90% of valleys.
Yeah.
So that's actually a good segue. What were some of your struggles when you were getting your way up into the pro ranks, playing APP, PPA tournaments? What were some of your early struggles?
Yeah. I had a really good start to my career. I played in 4 or 5 singles and I won that fairly comfortably. And then I went into Mesa PPA and I made last round of qualies and I almost beat Barrientos, so I almost qualified with a good win. And then my next tournament, which was my second, I qualified with a good win and I almost beat Marshall Brown in the first round. So I was like, whoa, let's go, right? But then, you're playing one tournament every 2 months. That it was also the time when I was going through some personal things in my relationship that was really like, I mean, I went through a whole month without practicing because I just couldn't leave the house. So that was very tough. And then I took some really bad losses, at least on paper. All good players, all players that could probably still beat me today on any given day. But I after making that main draw run, losing first round of qualies at this exact tournament last year, the Select Medical Orange County Cup. And then later on in the summer, losing second round of qualies. And then in the next tournament, actually played Spartak, had match points with him against him, and lost that match. Um, and I didn't have other opportunities. I wasn't fully bought into the process. I was playing just the PPA tournament, so it was like once every 2 months, and I would just sit on that. and then it was hard to get myself going and motivated um, to like work hard and to do the off-court stuff that I think is super essential to improve your fitness and your mental resilience. So that was a struggle because I felt like I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't have the best schedule, and it was hard to keep some of the thoughts away, the same thoughts that drove me away from tennis, which is like, ah, I'm just not good enough, man. Like, let's just drop this once I started getting those bad losses. But being more mature, having read a lot of books in the last couple years, I was actually able to push those thoughts away and eventually really dial in around September of 2024 is when I really got a good practice schedule going and I started to really like purposefully work hard. Um, so your question is more like what were the values, right? They weren't super, super low, but I think it's because I went through a lot of that in my early tennis days, so I can draw on those experiences of failure today to show me like what not to do, you know?
Sure. Oh, I hear you, dude. It's interesting that you say that you'd play PPAs every 2 months. That is almost identical to Alex.
Yeah,
He said the same thing.
I
And it
listened to the
was,
podcast.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he, just like you, it's like, here's my big shot, here's my opportunity. And it would
Exactly.
put an immense amount of pressure on himself.
Hmm.
And then if it just, I mean, you know as well as I do, when you're hitting 4 days a week, you got one day that's great, one day that's average,
Yeah.
one day that's bad, and one day that's awful. And you don't know which one you're
Just,
going to have on.
just never know.
No, you don't. And there's so many variables when it comes to pickleball. So you can't say I'm fully ready and I got my shots down and it's going to happen. It
Hmm.
kind of it happens more organically than that.
Yeah.
So do you think something that helped you out is planning out your schedule and having multiple tournaments to look forward to know if you took an L, you had something to look forward to?
Yeah, that's so spot on, Lo. That was my goal for 2025. Because yeah, I listened to Alex on your podcast, and he said the same thing. Every 2 months, you'd play a tournament, and you just don't have match rhythm. There's too much pressure. You can't really get into that, into that zone. And then for 2025 is when I started doing the visual spots, and that was like turning over the year. That I told myself I have to play 2 tournaments a month. I have to be competing for some types of stakes at least twice a month if I want to, you know, be successful in this sport. So absolutely, having that to look forward to is great. Even after Red Rock, I was signed up for a Kappa. Like Red Rock was during the week, right? Like on a Wednesday, and Kappa was like the following weekend on Championship Sunday. So like I had it 3 weeks before that to really grind and like really feel like I was in training camp. Um, but it was always comforting knowing that like, oh, hey, this is my first PPA since Mesa, where I played very close with John Goins. I'm gonna try like I'm gonna get amped up, but hey, if worst case scenario I lose, I do have a chance to go compete in California and make some money and 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 compete, which is the most fun, which is where I have the most fun is competing. And what that leads to is good wins because then I was loose, right? I made through qualies with good wins. I beat Pablo. I had a close one with Jack because I was one, training really hard. I'd been playing tournaments all year. And two, I was just loose. I was like, this is what I do. I'm gonna compete today. I'm gonna compete next week. I'm gonna compete next month. So that's so key, man. Just having
Dude,
it is a line though, Lo. You don't want to do too much, right? You want to have it's a fine line because if you have too many tournaments, then you can't develop your skills and your abilities and your fitness
oh
in
yeah,
between also.
absolutely. I hear you. It's like if I have a 3 week break, it's like, okay, focus on the footwork, get the fitness up. I'm going to ramp it up slowly, then I'm going to keep it going for a while, then I'm going to ramp it down. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, I don't know if this happens to you, but just like in tennis, I would overtrain. And
Yeah.
then it would be go time. And it's like, I don't have any juice in my legs.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
if I don't have, you and I rely heavily on our movement.
Hmm.
And you're a much younger guy than I am. I'm 42 and you're 29. So I
You
have to
look
be,
great though, Lo. Come on, man.
thanks, bro.
You
I
look awesome.
appreciate that. Thanks, man. All those years of special operations training has kept me like this.
Hell yeah.
It's it takes so much picking your spots and then knowing not just
Yeah.
training longer, but training smarter.
Yeah.
So what kind of drills are you working on these days now, Rafa? What's your typical training session for you?
hmm Yeah, I think that's such an important point because especially for the current situation I'm in now, I have limited time, an hour and a half to 2 hours a day to train, maybe an hour of gym. So it really has to be purposeful. Um, to your point, like if I have 3 weeks before a tournament, I might lift some heavy weights the first week, right? Get sore, really build some strong muscle. And then as you get closer to the tournament, maybe you'll focus more on some injury prevention, maybe some like VO2 max stuff, maybe some core, just things that are not going to make you as sore. But for me, like a really good training week includes 3 to 4 off-court training days. And if I were full time, it'd be 5 to 6, that's for sure. But 3 to 4 off-court training days, with one day being, a leg strengthening day with squats, like barbell squats, side squats, split squats, deadlifts, back squats. One day being an injury prevention, where I'm doing more balance stuff on the Bosu ball, bands, etc. One day of core, and then one day of cardio and footwork and explosive movements, et cetera, et cetera. And then on court, I kind of take that week by week, depending on what I feel I need the most. But I do try to have a really good balance between singles drills, which can look like just hitting cross courts, hitting figure eights, hitting like a tennis drill, um, working on rolls, doubles drills, which is 7-Eleven, or like doubles drill games, as we call it, 7-Eleven, um, fast hands, and then doubles games and singles games. So I do try to have a good balance there. There's no key formula week after week for the actual on-court training, but for the off-court training, there is. Um, and yeah, I mean, I played before San Clemente to get used to the ball. I played one day of doubles, but other than that was um, a lot of drilling, singles drills, doubles drills, and a lot of singles points. So
Got you. How you have a huge serve, and I remember I noticed when I was hitting and playing against you, it had height and it had depth and a lot of spin, a lot of action. How often are you practicing your serve just straight up you and a basket of balls? What does that look like?
man, I wish I was doing it more often. I would say once every 2 to 3 weeks. I
Okay.
am actually getting on the ball machine tomorrow to just do a full cleanse of the whole game, hit a lot of balls, and I'll definitely be hitting a lot of serves. But before I came to California, maybe the most important practice session of my career so far. Um, it was a Friday, it was 100 degrees in Vegas. I got to the courts with my ball machine, and I'm like, I'm ready. I'm going to be here for 3 hours. And I turn the ball machine on and the remote's not working, which is like, oh man, you gotta be kidding me. So I pull it apart. I'm sitting on the court and it's freaking piping hot pavement, trying to um trying to pull apart this remote and it's just not working. So I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm just gonna grind. I'm gonna
Yep.
do this manually. I'm gonna sit behind this machine every time I want to do a drill. I'm gonna press more spin, more height, more speed, whatever, and I'm just gonna go for it. And then 3 hours later, right after doing this, I've worked on all the shots, I've worked on rolls, I've worked on forehand drives, backhand drives, everything. And I finished off with like, I don't know, 160 serves. I think I did 40 to each, forehand, backhand. Those sessions, especially if you're not feeling great about your game, are unbelievable. They're
Yep.
almost like an instant fix for me so far. So to answer your question, once every 2 to 3 weeks. Surf feels
Got
great
you.
now, but I'm gonna go hit a lot of surf tomorrow, make it feel even better. So
Well, one thing I know about you, you're never happy with things being just status quo. So you're going to make it, if
that's
there's a
right,
way
man.
to get it a little better, but that's what it takes at the level that you're at. That's
Yeah,
exactly what it takes. And when you're
that
going
is.
through those kind of slumps, I totally agree with your point. You got to kind of lean into it because most people would think, well, I need to back it off a little bit. And you know what? Maybe circumstances in your life, it's probably the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But for a lot of guys like you and I specifically, we would rather lean into it. But here's the key. This is where you and I are completely aligned. You are out there by yourself, and I would be out there by myself because I hit on the ball machine like crazy.
Yeah, man.
Because I need that. I don't want, I'm an introvert. I don't like interacting a whole lot with people. When I get to, the pickler or ace or wherever I'm
Sure,
hitting at,
sure.
it's like, this is my job. As a
Hmm.
matter of fact, pickleball has taken over like my actual job.
Yeah, dude, there we go, man.
Yeah.
See, I am
Yeah.
I am following your path, Lo.
Oh yeah, dude. Almost 20-year career. And it's like, my job has gotten in the way of pickleball. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, but it's interesting that the sign of the true type A personality and the warrior is going out there alone and doing it by yourself. You don't need anyone to motivate you. It's dedication, not motivation waxes and wanes. Dedication is always
Yeah,
there. Even when you know you could work a little harder, you know that you can put in a little bit more. So
yeah, that's
very
100%
admirable,
right.
dude. Yeah. What is I
100% right.
wanted to ask you from a in your opinion, what is some of the biggest differences between a really good amateur and a professional at the level that you're at?
Hmm. And when we say amateur, what level are we talking about
Let's
specifically?
say let's say someone that's plays 4-5 to 5-3 or 5-4.
Okay.
Good, solid player, but has holes in their game that when they're coming up against a guy like you find them immediately. What are
Yeah.
typically some of those holes?
And Lo, are we talking singles or doubles? Because they are
Let's talk
different in my opinion.
singles. Oh, I totally agree. Different games entirely.
Yeah.
Let's talk singles.
Yeah. So if we're talking singles, the biggest differences between, say, the level that I'm at in like a 4-5 and a 5-3, and I've played quite a few guys that are between that level, say in qualies, right? And
Oh yeah,
those guys can beat me, and I have losses to those guys
sure.
on my record. But I think when it comes down to it, especially once you reach a certain level of confidence where your floor is good enough to beat them consistently, it's the basics. The basics is what separates those guys and myself, and it is what separated Christian and myself in the quarterfinals of the San Clemente tournament. What I mean by that is third serve, return, and third. So the serve is deeper, has more spin, has a little bit more pace. Same thing with the return. The returns are you get a lot more free points from the 4-5s to the 5-3, even 5-5 guys. They'll miss more returns, so you get a lot more free points there. And even if they don't, they're typically not damaging you as much. They're not pushing you back on the return. You're kind of able to hold your ground. And then on the third, um, a guy like myself, a guy like Christian will really hurt you on the third if we have time. Whereas a 4-5 to 5-3, 5-5 player, they can hit some winners, but generally you're getting a look at the ball, especially if you can get a deep return. So to me, that is what makes the biggest difference is just the basics. And then once you get to the top echelon, when you're talking about these top 10 players, they all do the basics really well. Sometimes you get a guy on a bad day that's not doing the basics as well. But if both guys are playing very well, that's when you see these very nice points where creativity comes into play. Like, I don't know if you saw the no look that Fed hit against Christian Alshon,
I
but he hit
did.
a no look passing shot where if both guys are doing the basics very well, then you start to see some of that creativity and some of those nicer points
Oh, I
happen.
hear you, dude. That's what's interesting. I wanted to touch on one thing that you said there too. People tend to think that your skill level is commensurate with your duper, which to a certain extent it is. However, there can be, even Alex said, on if I'm not playing my best on a day, a good 5-5 can take me down. And
Yeah,
I've personally seen it before too, that I've seen
100%.
4-9s beat 5-8s, and um,
You just
It's
saw 5'8" beat a 7-1, so
exactly. Yeah, correct. It's pretty incredible how you can still see that. And I also wanted to ask you, I'm sorry I'm jumping all over the place
dude,
here.
that's it's all good. Yeah, we're just chatting. Yeah,
Thanks,
whatever you
bro.
want.
What what kind of I keep like a tally of the cost of tournaments, gear, shoes. I, I'm certain you go through shoes like no one's business. I
Yeah.
go through a pair of shoes, usually after 3.5 weeks, they're dead. You know, a dead
Yeah,
shoe, no
yeah.
spring, no life.
I got new
Paddles,
ones
same
before
thing.
the San Clemente tournament, and they're like I can't use them anymore.
I don't doubt it, dude. Yeah, they're completely thrashed.
Yeah.
What, how much cost have you put into training, tournaments, travel, hotel, gear so far? Do you think if you could do public math on the spot?
Man, I could theoretically tell you exactly how much. And
Oh, get out of town. Right on.
now you got me thinking because I got to do this tomorrow too, Lo. Anyways, tomorrow's kind of like an off day. I got to figure out some finances. But if I were to look at pickleball expenses for 2025, and mind you, I am in the green because I've been doing all these money balls, visual
Yep.
spots, Kappa, iPickle, and I have won a lot of those. So I've actually made some money this year playing pickleball, which is great.
Right on.
But so far, low, we are at just around 5 grand
Okay.
for the
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
So that includes
Exactly.
entry fees. That just includes really entry fees and other things like, yeah, like shoes, training equipment, et cetera, et cetera. It's not including things like gas. And I do think like food is another thing that we're gonna eat food anyways, right? But I do splurge on nice groceries, like healthy foods and stuff, because I really care about every aspect. So, but
Same.
yeah, I like the good question. I like the money question because I got to figure that out anyways.
Dude, dollars and cents. That's what it comes down to.
Hmm.
Excuse me. I'm going to do you a solid too. When we're done here, send me your email because I'll send you the actual spreadsheet that I have that I use. I'm
Yeah,
using
that'd
it
be
for
great.
2025. I have one for 2026. It's completely fresh
Oh,
and you
beautiful.
can plug in whatever you want, dude. So,
That's
yeah,
perfect, man. I need
it's
that for
super
accounting
helpful.
purposes. So,
Yeah, bro. Happy to help you out.
hell
How
yeah,
many
Lo.
paddles are you going through, would you say, in a month or 2 month time frame? And you're still with you're using the Selkirk. Are you using the 008
The Power Air. I
Power Air?
tried the 008. Remember at the Masters, they tried to make people just play with that. And
Spartak hated it.
I hated it too. It felt like a
Yep,
cannon if you hit it right in the middle, but anywhere else was like completely dead.
that's
Um,
rough.
the 10 millimeter ones, I hit with it for like 2 minutes the other day. It's actually not bad. But I'm
Right
using the
on.
Power Air, which is like the most reliable. I might try the Era after I get back to Vegas in a couple weeks and see how I like that. To answer your question, two paddles per month, generally
Okay,
speaking. I try to get a fresh one for every tournament.
sure.
Um, but if I have one tournament like the first weekend of the month, I'll be playing with a paddle from the previous month, right?
Yep.
Leading up to the tournament. And then 2 days before, I'll use the new one, use it for the tournament, and then maybe practice with the old one or practice with the one I use in the tournament. And another tournament 2 weeks later, I'll try to get a fresh one for that.
Dude, that's the exact same thing that I do. Because that one
Yeah.
that you're using, it's like that's the one you can bomb serves on, you can rip thirds. And then when you're coming into the tournament, a lot of people ask me why a day or two before do I get a fresh one? Because they said they all feel different. It's true to a certain extent, but
Yeah.
I know that first day in pro qualies, I'm going to be probably tight and muscling the ball. I want to paddle. It's going to be tight and it's going to start loosening up as my body loosens up. That's kind of
Yeah.
my theory.
Dude, they do feel different. And I will say maybe with, I don't know if it's different with because you use the paddle tech, right?
I use the Pro Series 4. Yeah, I switched back. I went to the dark side again.
Okay. With the Power Air, like if I get a new one, I feel like it feels poppier
Ah,
than
yep,
one that I've been using feels a little bit more cushiony. But I do
yep.
it mainly for the grit because even if it's just a little bit extra spin, that ball's harder for the opponent to hit. And that makes a difference. And I like if it's poppier, it's good. I'm getting a little bit more on the serve, on the returns. So um, yeah, that's why I like to get a new one for each tournament. Just do a little bit more damage with each shot.
Right on, dude. Last question I have for you, my man. What do you know now that you wish you would have known a year ago?
Yeah. It has to be because it's funny. A year ago, I thought I knew what I was doing. Like I thought I had a grasp on things, but looking back, it's like, man, I was still doing so many things wrong. And I try to draw on my experiences from tennis to like shape how I act and how I'm, conducting myself from a practice standpoint and from a career management standpoint. But what I know now is that I have to play two tournaments a month if I want to be good at pickleball. And I don't know if your question was specific to pickleball. There's obviously so many other aspects of life, but assuming we're talking about that, it's really like I have to play two tournaments a month, and all of the little things matter. Um, I have a list of things I do every single day that I have no doubt if I wasn't doing those things, I would not be getting results. So, things like stretching, ice bath, meditation, reading. So, wall time. That all counts. I guess I knew that to a certain extent though, last year, but it's just like now I'm putting into practice and it's like obvious.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of different when you know you should meditate for 15 minutes in the morning. Actually doing it at 4 a.m., no one wants to do
Do you
that.
wake up that early, Lo?
I
My
do,
goodness,
man.
man. You mentioned
It's gonna,
special ops training. It must be from that, right?
it
Like
is from that.
you
Dude, yeah.
psycho.
It's true. I have psych reports that state
Did
as
Andy wake
much.
up with you at that time?
No, she gets pissed. I have to use like my training to like sneak around because and I told her, I said, it's so funny because, she's from Venezuela.
Hmm.
And I said, if she scares me in the evening, I'll be like, ah. But if I scare her, I hear, I. And she, it's just like, I'm super blessed to have her in my life.
That's amazing, man.
It's knowing the things you need to do and then actually fully committing to it.
Yeah.
And I completely identify with where you're coming from too, Rafa, is I wrote down a list of, I read the book, The Pickleball Mindset, really good book. And I wrote down,
Check it
who
out.
is it that yeah, dude, totally worth it. And I wrote down, who is it that I want to be? What do I want to look like? How does that person act? What does that person do? And that gave me a lot of answers to questions that I needed to fill in my life for myself. And
Yeah.
but dudes like you and I, if we don't have a target to hit, we are kind of rudderless in life. We need to go towards something. And this is an outstanding sport, and I love it that the the proximity to players. You and I will never get within spitting distance of Roger Federer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
However,
hopefully. Hey, don't count it out yet, Lo. Come on,
yeah,
man.
yeah, he's
We can
coming back.
dream.
We could, yeah, let the man dream. However, you and I can literally text Jaume Martinez Vic right now and ask him what grip he uses on his backhand or whatever. It's
Hmm.
that kind of proximity that I absolutely love about pickleball.
It's
But
amazing, man.
dude, I just want to thank you so much for your time, for your friendship. I knew you had
Yeah.
something special when you were hitting those lob serves to me, just giving me a hard time. No, I did. I really did. Even when you were going against the teen heartthrob, John Goins, I knew that I was like right there with
How is
you.
that kid 16, man? I mean, he's like growing facial hair already. What's
I
happening?
I don't know, dude. Yeah, he must be on like enhancers or something like that. You and I will be in touch though, man. Thank you so
For
much for
sure,
your
Lo.
time. I really appreciate it. I know you're crazy busy, but love you to death, man. You're my boy,
Likewise,
and
man.
I'm always in your corner, okay?
Lo, thank you so much, man. This was fun. Thanks for having me. Thanks for being, it's late for you, so I appreciate that. Great chat, man, as always. We'll be in touch.
Thanks,
No
brother.
money, man, I'm gonna get some money. That's every day, all day. Rain, snow, sleet, sunny. My pockets in need. Always favorite color green. Hustle look like I'm broke. And let my